Hello everyone. Literally, the moment I started this video, my heater just turned on. But I did this story like that. That was a reference to the original poster of the first Trainspotting. Regardless, yesterday I saw Trainspotting, well, T2, Trainspotting 2. So it's on a limited release, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. Before I do that, what do I think of Danny Boyle and his other films? I love Danny Boyle. I think he's made such great films, and he proves to me he's like Spielberg. He has the definitive touch, and yet it's felt through different genres, like that fast, energetic, cut feeling either was in Trainspotting or any other films, and yet he proves diversity within his own skill set. So it was really impressive, and it's great to see that happening with his flavor touch. Last year I got the Blu-ray, the original Trainspotting. I really loved it. That was a great movie. Although my personal favorite Danny Boyle film is probably 28 Days Later. I think 28 Days Later is one of my best friends' absolute favorite movie, and I could totally see that. It's just a phenomenal movie. But I'm not here talking about 28 Days Later. I'm here talking about Trainspotting 2. Now, this movie is based off the sequel book. Oh, because the original Trainspotting, it's based off a book based by the same name. And yet, there's a sequel book called, called Porno. And this is like the book to film adaptation of that. I'm seeing where these characters picked up from so many years later. Even though it's not like a direct breaking point type of referencing of that. Regardless, was Trainspotting 2... There's a few questions to be asked about this movie. Number one, is it any good? Number two, is it as good as the first? And number three, is it good as a sequel? Well, I just forgot my questions. No. First question, is it a good movie? Yes. Question number two, is it a good sequel? Yes. Number three, is it a great movie? Yes and no. So quickly, this movie, okay. Trainspotting 2 is about, Mark Renton's character played by always great seeing him around the movies. Ewan McGregor, seriously. He's amazing. He really is. I love him as an actor. He returns back to Scotland after being in Germany for over 20 years. Because in the last film of Trainspotting, he betrayed. He essentially betrayed Belgium. Played by Roger Carroll in the first film. This film was so many years later. He returns back to Scotland and sees where all of his friends went to war before, and yet total and complete utter chaos and insanity and nostalgia and just beams down the line of this, and how so many things come back to haunt from its past to haunt him. That's my story about it, and yet not just about that, but Big B escapes from jail, and he tries to get in touch with his son before his son goes off to college. Spud is like that innocent. He has that classic look of the innocent, wide-eyed type of person, and yet he's doing this because his friends are, and yet he's like the classic, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of following my friends. And then you also have Sick Boy, played by Johnny Lee Miller, who is very much in this movie. He's very much like the classic. He's the classic type of suave type of dude who's always just trying to work a blackmailing angle towards people. He's like, oh yeah, I got this piece of info against you. I can work it against you, like that type of feeling. And I really enjoyed not only seeing all their dynamic together again after 20-something years. Seriously, I'll say this: where other films have failed, like Independence Day 2 and others, of how they can pick up sequels so many years, and Indiana Jones 4, where it shows so many years have passed, and how you can make it with a sequel and how you can make it work or not. this is a good example of how you can make a sequel so many more than a decade later and make it good. This is a good movie. This is a good sequel, nonetheless. I really do, like, for me, what a sequel should do is essentially pick up where the first one was, explore it a little bit more, give a little bit more depth to the characters, a deeper meaning behind the characters, and yet make it a little bit more darker. This movie does it flyingly well, and I think it's really spot on for doing that. Not to mention, everyone in this movie gives a great performance as always. It's great seeing John Lee Miller back, Elliot Bremer as Spud is back, Ewan McGregor is great, and Robert Kyle, I don't know how to say it, as Bagby. He's great as always, even though he's a fucking psychopath. He is a serious psychopath in this movie. He really is. The way he treats others, even his own wife and son, is seriously messed up. But it's still kind of like a part of a weird, charming part of the character, even though it's like you're watching him and you're like, this dude should be in freaking jail, even though he was, and yet he escaped. So, okay, no, he didn't escape jail, but he was in jail, and then they put him into a hospital because, you know, I don't know what the hell happened, but he was like, screw this, I'm out. There's so many good references, especially, okay, first things first, I should have said this in the beginning of the video. If you're going to see this film, make sure you watch the first one so you can really enjoy it. Because if you've never seen the first Trainspotting and you're going to see this film, that's a huge mistake because it would just alienate new people. And it's probably a good reason why this movie isn't not making that much money, which sucks because I actually really damn enjoyed this movie. The chemistry is great as always. The fast, tight, unique angles and editing, fast-paced editing that Boyle adds in shines the highest in this movie. There's a particular shot when Ewan McGregor is singing into a microphone, and it seems like good example is like, you know, kind of like this, and it seems like you put like the perspective of the camera kind of like this close to it, and you can see it track back and forth like that, and it sounds. It's such a great moment, even though of all the Danny Boyle isms that he does within the films, this tends to be very reserved and pulled back. It's not like full galore like how it was in 127 Hours and others. But what really made this film so fun and great to watch is just these character interactions and seeing how they build upon the past stuff they do. A great little launch that they do is when they're in a bar and there's nightclubs in the area, which is the scene, the place that they're in before when Bagby has a beer glass and he goes like that. And it's in that same area, but it's much more updated, and everything's all like techno stuff like today is. And there's a good little moment in that bar where he sees everyone dancing, they're all like getting low and dancing like that, and he just looks at it and goes like, there's a great sense of weird, awkward, what the hell am I witnessing here, and also a sense of it's weird, but I get it. It's like you can really feel what he's feeling. That's a sign of a great performance right there. I think he really makes him feel a lot more sympathetic than just an absolute freaking batshit crazy basket case that he really is. But really, he just gives him such a great kinetic performance. But it's just so good, and I love those great character moments. As any Dan Boyle film, besides, there's a great kinetic speed of energy towards it, even at the slower scenes. It doesn't feel dragged on. It always feels interesting and kinetic, even at slower scenes, which is a bit of a nitpick for me, because this movie is not perfect. My biggest problem with this movie is too much fan servicey moments can be annoying, But if you're such a huge fan, like I may not be a diehard Trainspotting fan, although I do love and appreciate the movie. I'm saying I'm not a diehard fan. Excuse me. Except unlike something like Star Wars or Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings, where I'm a massive fan. But this movie has, I can definitely see this movie having too much hints towards the original instead of just being original. Instead of just being original on its own. So I can see the nitpick of it catering towards too much of the fans and just instead of trying to do something more original. But I love how they do touch such of the old things into this film, like like the dirtiest, I think it was, or like the worst toilet in Scotland. There's a great reference to that. There's a great reference of how Mark Renton's character almost died in the first one, like when he overdoses, and where he gets dragged out into the street and the hospital and the hospital cars are waiting for him, like that. And that classic, and then he falls back type of shot, like that's. There's a great reference there. There's also a great scene in a restaurant where he gives a good reason why he says that choose life, choose a career, all that. And I think that was almost on par with the original. And I thought that was a great moment in it. I loved. And overall, I thought it was just a splendid, fun movie. I'm sure there's some things I'm forgetting about, and once this video is uploaded, I'll be like, shit, I should have said that, should have said this. But what I'm really trying to say is I had a really great ball watching this movie. Although I do have one big problem, and it's like the movie is just less than 2 hours. It feels more than 2 hours. There's a certain point, I think about the hour and 20-minute point, or a certain point around the 1 hour point where a film really slows down. It really does drag, and at that point I'm like, okay. Although there's a lot of great funny moments, even though this isn't really like what you would traditionally consider a comedy, but I still really enjoyed it, and I had a great ball with this movie. Yes, I do believe the movie is a bit slow, and I don't think I'll be rushing out to see this movie again because it's a limited release. But if I do get a chance to watch this movie and they get it on Blu-ray, then I will get a chance. The question is, will I watch it? I don't know, but it's like I want to preserve my love, my real sense of enjoyment towards this movie. It's not perfect. It will never top the original. Nor will I consider this to be Dunable as one of his top 5 best movies. By the way, on the subject of Danny Boyle material, Sunshine is a severely underrated film. That is a great, great film. I would love to recommend that film. I just watched that recently. Super good. Great performance by actors you now recognize, like Chris Evans and Rose Byrne. That's besides the point. Overall, I thought Trainspotting 2 was actually a really great sequel. I thought it really did update some new things. And without dragging this review on for another 5-10 minutes, all I'm going to say is that I really did enjoy Trainspotting 2 a ton. And, yeah, I'm going to give Trainspotting 2... I'm going to give it an 84%. And that's my rating for the movie, everyone. I really do hope you enjoy it. I really do hope you enjoyed my review for Trainspotting 2. I really do hope you enjoyed that. And tomorrow, I'll have my review for The Fate of the Furious. Till then, everyone, thank you very much for watching. And, yeah, as always, take care.